Today we will go over this very efficient way of modeling text, then we will be creating this completely procedural material, and in the end I will show you some secret settings I use to make my renders look more alive and vibrant. Let's start by modeling the text. Delete the default cube and press Shift A and add the text. By pressing Tab, you can delete the text and write whichever word you want. Now go to the text properties and select the font you want to use. I suggest you use a bold font for this project, like Stretch Pro or Lemon Milk. I will be using the Drunk Designer, which is a super interesting font. You can download it from the description of the video. Now just right click and press Convert to Mesh. Now if you press Tab to go to edit mode, you will see that the text topology is kind of random. So press A and press X, limited dissolve. The topology is now fixed, but we still have some double vertices that we don't want, so press M and merge by distance. Click on this little box. Now just move the slider to where all the double vertices are gone and the mesh is not deformed. I think this is perfect. If you have curvy letters, you might have some double vertices, but it shouldn't be a problem. Great, so now we've managed to get perfect topology, which allows us to easily transform the text just by moving the vertices. By pressing L over a letter, I can select the whole letter and move it on the 2D space. This workflow is pretty similar to working with Illustrator. This looks perfect. Now go to the modifiers tab and add a solidify modifier. Make the thickness 0.06. In order to add more topology to the text, add a remesh modifier and make it sharp. We don't want this to be on. And also change the depth to 8 or 7. For the final render we will be using 10 to get the maximum details, but for now 8 should be fine. Now to smooth out the text, add a smooth modifier and make the value 25. It's about time we start texturing the text, so change the render engine to cycles, go down to film and make the background transparent. Split the viewport in two and turn it into a shader editor. We first want to add an HDRI, so go to World, press Shift A and add an environment texture. Connect the color to the color and also press Shift A and add a hue saturation value node. Press Z and switch to rendered and add an HDRI. You can find my HDRI from the description. It's my favorite, it makes the color and the reflection so nice. So now make the saturation 0.3 and we can switch back to the object mode. Press New and delete the principled BSTF. Instead, press Shift A and add a magic texture node. Connect the color to a color ramp and connect the color ramp to the output. Make the scale 21 and move the pins closer together. We might even change that later. Select the magic texture and press Ctrl T. You will need the Node Wrangler add-on for this. You can easily activate it. Change the type to texture. Change the X scale to -0.5, the Y to 1.5 and the Z to 1.3. And now select the color ramp, duplicate it by pressing Shift D, flip the colors, make the black white and the white black, and connect the color to a mix shader node. We want to mix two principled BSTFs, so add the first one and make it blue, make the roughness 0 and the subsurface 0.3, duplicate it by pressing Shift D and connect the second one to the second socket. Make the color green and you are ready to go. You can close them down. Now add another mix shader node and mix our previous material with a glass BSDF. Make the color blue and for the factor add the noise texture node and also add a color ramp node. I will be moving the black pin here and the white here. Now let's add the displacement. Get the first color ramp and add a displacement node. Connect it to normal. Also connect it to height. For the height value we will need to add a vector math node. Set it to scale and make the scale 15. Before you connect it to the output, make the scale 0.01 so your computer doesn't crash. go to the material properties and change the displacement to displacement only, and this is what happens. We don't want that. Make the scale 0.001. You can tweak the effect by moving the values. I think we should bring them a little closer together. Yeah, this looks way better now. Let's also make the glass a little darker. For the background, I will add a simple plane. Press RX90 to rotate it, move it back. Press tab to go to edit mode, right click and add a couple subdivisions. This is enough. Add a new material. On the base color, add a checker texture. Make the first color gray and the second black. Make the scale very high. Get the color and add a bump node. Connect it to height and connect the normal to the normal. We could make that even darker. Now if you have a camera, press Ctrl Alt 0. And basically this is what we came up with. Let me show you a couple settings that you can use to make the render look even better. Let's first go to the modifiers and change the remesh to 10. Now we're getting so much more detail. Now go to the render properties and go all the way down to color management, and you can change the look to a high contrast look, which makes the render so much better. Now go to light paths and change the preset to the full global illumination. This will take a little longer to render, but the final render will look way better. So set your max samples to 800 and you're now ready to render. And that's all for today. I hope you have fun in these last days of the year. The channel will be completely inactive until the end of February because I'm currently serving in the military here in Greece and I'm far away from home. Fortunately, I will be brought in a military base next to my house in 2 months and continue posting. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.